This video explains how to install the expansion cables for the AlphaPix Flex controller. First, a little bit of an overview. The AlphaPix Flex controller has 3 ports on it, 1, 2, and 3, and these handle outputs 1 through 16, 17 through 32, and 33 through 48. Now, those correspond with expansion board 1, 2, and 3. So expansion boards go down in number or a higher number as you go towards the bottom. Now, each expansion board will come with one of these expansion cables. Now, it includes 3 plugs, and those 3 plugs are configurable based upon what position you're located in. So, you may need to cut the cable to customize it to fit your specific needs. For this, you may need a sharp knife, and in this particular case, we have a steel surface that we're going to be cutting against. First, let's show you how these cables work. Now, the cable connection does have a key here. It's a little notch, and in the connector, there is also a notch. These need to fit together. Now, you'll note that the red wire is along the left side here. Now, when we turn it over, we can see that this actually can go into several places. You'll also see that if we plug it here, again, it will stay on the left-hand side. We could also plug it here or here. Now, you have to plug 1 cable per expansion. You cannot plug all 3 using 1 cable. So, if we were going to plug up the first expansion card and we didn't need the additional 2 plugs on here, we can remove that. So that's what we're going to do now. So, we need to keep the portion of the cable that goes into the plug, and we can see that it goes down and then comes back out again. We're going to cut it off right here. You may want to mark this with a marker just to make sure that when you take it off, you have it in the right place. So we're going to pull this off, and we're going to take the cable, and I'm simply going to hold it against the surface here, and I'm going to take my knife and make a very clean, smooth cut. We can now see that these are all cleanly cut off. There are no bare wires or anything touching. And now we have a much shorter length of expansion cable. This portion can be thrown away. And I'm going to put that into 1, and then I'm going to come down to the first expansion port and plug that in. And you can see now we have that. Now let's do the second one. So if we have a second expansion card, we plug it into the port number 2. And we come down. Now, this plug will be in here. We just ignore it. It will not affect anything. You just come down and plug in to this second port. Now, again, we're going to be cutting off right here. So I'm going to take that out. And I'm simply going to take my knife and cut that off. And now we have the second expansion cable. And we'll plug that back into the controller. And then on the third expansion cable, no cutting needs to be made. And we just plug this into the furthest portion right here, the very front, number 3. And we simply reach back here and plug it into the third port, making sure it's securely attached. So now we have these little extra pieces here. If you need to, you can collapse them. If, let's say, you've got power supplies up against them. And that's all there is to installing the expansion cables for the AlphaPix Flex.